Is the Salewa dead? Let's talk about it. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Exfil and Hideout. My name is Ghost. If you guys have never been here before, I'm super excited you guys are here. I am sorry that it's taking me so long to put out this video. I told you guys I was going to put out this video about 3 days ago. Then around 4 days ago, I got hit with this head cold, and it's just been sucky because trying to record in the midst of coughing and sinus like pressure and congestion just isn't the best. I'm actually recovering today. I probably feel the closest to 100% that I felt in like the last 5 days. So I decided to try to knock it out one more time. And I'm excited because we are going to be comparing the brand new AFAK to the Salewa. More in a second. First, I do stream on Twitch every single day. So tomorrow morning, if you want to stop by, 6 a.m. PST, I would love to have you. Grab some caffeine. The only day that I'm usually off is Tuesday, but tomorrow I will be making an exception because of me being sick and not streaming for 2 days. So we're going to make up for it. Other than that, if you guys like the content, make sure you smash that like button. It goes a long way for the channel. If you guys want to see more Tarkov content, we have over 75 videos on the channel to bring you some value. If you want to see more of that, smash that subscribe button, and you can always hit the bell if you want to be notified when videos go live. So guys, let's get right into the video. All we're going to do in this video is compare the Salewa to the AFAK because in my opinion, the AFAK would replace the Salewa. That's not my final verdict. We're going to go over all the things that make them good and bad and talk about a declared winner at the end. And I'm also going to take them both into raid and heal with both of them so you could hear sound. So first things first, this is the Salewa. This has been our main medical source that gives us the 400 HP, which is why a lot of times people choose it over the IFAK. And it heals light bleeds and heavy bleeds better than like say an IFAK does, I believe. Let's just double check real quick. I'm not going over the IFAK basic stuff, but yes, it does. Okay, so I'm not gonna compare that. And the reason why I'm not gonna compare the regular IFAK to the AFAK, so AFAK stands for, they didn't just like choose another letter. It's an actual type of first aid kit. This stands for advanced first aid kit. The IFAK is individual first aid kit. So it is a better IFAK essentially. And so they both have 400 HP. This one just came out with the new stuff. Stops light bleeds at 45 for the Salewa. It stops heavy bleeds at 175, and its use time is 3 seconds. The AFAK stops heavy bleeds at 170, so 5 less. It stops light bleeds at 30, 15 less, and still uses 3 seconds. So one thing that I want to say real quick is this says it removes radiation exposure. Even though we're not dealing with radiation right now in Tarkov, in the future, I feel like this might be more of a reason to run it if Salewa continually does not support radiation healing and removing the exposure. So that's something to think about. Another thing is this is a 2-slot item. This is a 1-slot item. And if you guys know how Tarkov works, space is everything. Space is so important most of the time, which means being that this is half the amount of space is a big deal. Now, let's go over prices real quick. You can buy the AFAK. The cheapest I've seen it lately is 37,000 rubles. The cheapest I've seen the Salewa is 20,000 rubles. So it's almost double the price of the Salewa. In my opinion, it's not worth it to have something that's double the price. That is definitely a major con, in my opinion. The other cons, in my opinion, is you cannot barter for the AFAK and you cannot craft the AFAK. You can craft the Salewa and you can barter for the Salewa. And something else I was going to put in another video is how crazy the barter and underrated it is for the Salewa. Mind you, I have a cough drop on my mouth, so bear with me. I'm sorry. The barter is a paid, the anti-roach. It looks like raid. And I've been finding it as low as 11,000 rubles. So the lowest I found it recently was 15,000, but still. So now we're looking at 15,000. You can get 2 every single time that the trader resets, so therapist, and you're able to get it for 15,000. Sometimes I'm getting it for 11, and the other day I actually got it for 9,000. I grabbed a couple of them because somebody probably just didn't know and just sold them. Anyways, and I'm getting a Salewa for that amount, and you're still not able to get it. So you can actually buy this from Peacekeeper, but Peacekeeper is about 39,000 rubles. So it's actually more expensive from Peacekeeper than it is on flea market, which is crazy. So the AFAK will heal a total of 2 heavy and 2 lights. So if you only use it for bleeds, you get 2 heavy and 2 light out of it. The Salewa gets 2 heavy and 1 light, and then a little bit extra, but not enough to get an extra light. So they're very, very similar. I would say that the main difference is going to be situational with these. I definitely think for double the price, there has to be an absolute reason why I'm running this. So maybe early game, if you were to pick one of these up, I think it'd be super beneficial to run it in your Gamma or your Alpha container or whatever container you have, because having space in your Gamma, Alpha container, all that stuff is very hard to figure out what you want to put in there. And in the beginning, a lot of people end up running Grizzlies because Salewa takes up too much room. So they're like, well, let me just run everything then and just run a Grizzly and put a Grizzly in my Alpha. So in that sense, I think the AFAK will be good. One thing that I don't like about the AFAK, and I'm actually going to take this in raid to show you guys, is I don't like the sounds that it makes and how loud it is, just like the IFAK. Usually how I do it, it just depends on how you play. I personally use the IFAK when I'm healing my body out in the open, and it doesn't matter how loud I'm being. But when I'm fighting, when I'm getting into some PvP with people, I use Salewa. I use it because it's quieter. I don't want people to know when I am healing, because just like me, they're likely to push me in the midst of my heal, and I don't want them to get an idea of like how much health I'm getting back. I want that to be quiet into myself, so that when they hit me, they might think like, dude, push that guy. I lit him up. He's probably at 100 HP. Well, what they don't know, if they haven't been listening good, is I've been using my Salewa to heal myself, and now I'm back at 350. Whereas if you have an IFAK and you hear that, it's just so much louder, and not only you're more likely to get pushed, but they're more likely to understand what your current health is. Keeping your current health hidden and your current health status hidden is a big part of winning fights in Tarkov, because it gives you a lot of information on the other player on pushing and running or whatever the case is, right? So or even just realizing where somebody is. If they're in a bush, if they're in a room, and you hear them heal, you're like, oh, I know exactly where they're at now. You can toss it into that room, whatever the case is. So being somebody who does chase PvP, for me, I prefer the Salewa. Even if it does take up 2 slots, in my opinion, quieter is going to be better. Now, I'm going to let you guys decide if it's loud enough to matter, and then we'll come back and we will decide what is the ultimate winner. There's not a whole lot to go over, but I did want to go over the main differences for this. Now, the craft, real quick, before we actually go in there, I'll just say the craft real quick. The craft ends up being about 22,000 for the Salewa. So when the Salewas are high and they're peaking in the flea market, it's worth it if you can't get it from therapists. That's really the only time the barter is worth it. Other than that, I would recommend the barter for it or just flat out buying it. But okay, let's go inside and see how loud they are. So unfortunately, it is raining. I don't know why it's raining. It said that it wasn't going to be raining, but anyways, let's try to listen, okay? So this is going to be the Salewa. And this is going to be the AFAK. So it feels a lot faster than the IFAK usually does, but ultimately, guys, it is that zip. That zip, I just don't like how it gives away where you're at. I just don't like how loud it is. The quiet little click of the Salewa is just so much better in my opinion and worth the 2 slots for me. But let's go back and decide. I think, guys, the Salewa wins hands down. This is just my own opinion based on how I play. The fact that you can barter for it, the fact that you can craft it, it's half the price. The only con I really see about the Salewa is that it's double the size. Other than that, though, it pretty much does everything the IFAK does, but quieter and cheaper. And that's going to be a win in my book. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys disagree with me, let me know down in the comments. I would love to dialogue with you guys on why you think the AFAK might be better, when you would be more likely to use the AFAK over the Salewa, and so forth. And I will definitely be responding to every single one of you. If you guys like the video, make sure you smash that like button. I hope this video brought you some value and more understanding on the brand new AFAK. And if you guys want to see more Tarkov content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and you can always hit the bell if you never want to miss an upload. I'm live every single day at 6 a.m. PST. Lately, it's been a little bit later because I haven't been feeling good, but that's typically when we are live, except for Tuesday. So I hope to see you guys by the stream. We usually have an amazing time. I hope you guys are very blessed. I hope you have an amazing day or night, depending on where you're at in the world. I hope that you use whatever you like to use. Happy raids, you guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. this guy's right here.
Good night.
Sorry, boys. I'm looking for scavs.